My name's Johanna Griffith, and this is my son David. It was July 1st, 2008, so he was just barely 2 years old, and at his 2-year-old appointment with his doctor, he had a pediatrician at the time, and I had asked about the possibility of David having diabetes because he'd been drinking more water than usual, and even though he was still in diapers, he was sometimes wetting the bed at night. And I was beginning to kind of wonder what was going on and if his behavior, his mood was just actually the terrible twos or if there was something else going on. David had a not very good day. He was quite sleepy in the afternoon, and he would usually have a nap. He had a longer nap than normal, but when he woke up, he was still drowsy and his breathing was starting to be affected. So I came right into emergency, and we were seen right away. It was one of the scariest things that has ever happened to me, and I will never complain about sitting in a waiting room again, because we were whisked quickly into emergency, and David spent the night in intensive care. He would likely have been in a coma if we had stayed at home. So it was really, we came in at the very last minute. When we came into emergency that evening, even in the very first person you see in the hall sort of went, "Is there any diabetes in your family?" And I knew at that point that as I had asked the pediatrician earlier, and I was told that David was too young to have diabetes, but in fact it was diabetes. At that point I was not exactly sure I would ever trust a doctor again. She came up to me and said something to the effect of, "Hello, my name's Dr. Celia Rod, and I will be your doctor until David turns 18 or until I retire, whichever comes first." And I felt kind of like shipwrecked at the time, and it was like somebody tossing me a life preserver. So David, in his first year and a half, he was on multiple daily injections with insulin, and we did finger checks, blood sugars for him a number of times in the day as well. So he was getting, I believe, 4 shots of insulin a day. And he's always been extremely good about his diabetes care, I think partly because he knows how good it makes him feel. When his diabetes started, it was a really big adjustment for our family, and the nurse we met with here initially said we would get back to a new normal, and you kind of think, well, I don't really want a new normal, I'd like the old normal back, please. But we have learned so much, and I think grown so much as a family, and met so many wonderful people through this, that even though it seemed like a very daunting task to begin with, it's all gone very well. There has never been a better time in history to be sick as it would be. We just passed a few days ago, the beginning of May, I believe, was the anniversary of the discovery of insulin in 1922, and the lifespan for a child with diabetes before that would have been about 2 years. And David has now had diabetes for almost 3 years, and I won't forget that.